Yo, what's good? It's your boy Niger, aka King's Caliber, the Comeback King. 77 on Instagram, baby. Follow your boy. Hey, follow the YouTube channel here at God's Fault Podcast. Like, subscribe, share, put the noties on so you can get the latest episodes as we dig into all kind of topics. We here for it, you know? Hang with your boy. It's God's fault that I'm here. Don't be mad at me. Blame God. Yeah, we out.
Biggest enemy I got is myself, you know what I mean? New levels, man, everybody ain't got the same devils. My vision perspectives reach the collectives. My ops smelling like breakfast, eating like I'm cannibal, like I'm sick of perfection. I hear you.
Welcome, good people, man. Welcome to the God's Fault Podcast with your boy, Leslie Niger, a.k.a. the Comeback King, King's Caliber. Call me what you want, man. Just don't call me late for dinner. You dig? We here, man. We here. Another episode, man. Listen, for all my listeners out there, I appreciate your love, man. We reaching new stats on YouTube, on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, on iHeart. We here, man. We here for the long haul. Appreciate it. Yeah. And I got a lot of learning to do. I don't even know what I'm doing yet. That's the fun part. That's the fun part. So anybody out there just sitting around dragging your feet thinking that you can't get motion, man, just start moving. That's how you get motion. You know, don't be too serious about yourself, man. Why so serious? You know what I'm saying? Listen, we got a special guest tonight. A special guest. This man right here, number one, he's an OG of OGs. All right, he don't like to put that out there because he represents a lot of good things right now. But it's not where you know what I mean. It's not where you're from. It's where you at. You know what I'm talking about? So my big bro, okay, Antonio Arrington, man, what's good with you, baby? How you, man?
Salute,
man. The chief, chief. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Super duper proud of you, man. The content,
appreciate it.
The question, the interview. You like the young Shannon Sharp right now. You know, in the hood.
Young
you know
Unc. I'm Unc though. I'm a young Unc. I'm Unc Junior. I need that Unc Junior paper though. He said, my time is valuable, but I ain't got nothing about rest.
It's called delayed gratification. You gotta get in the trenches, right? You gotta get in the trenches, and then one day, one of your podcasts or something will hit, and then it'd be an explosion, and everybody will know who you are, right? So keep doing what you're doing. The content,
I appreciate that.
The subject matter. You know what I'm saying? Get the word out because people need to hear it. You know what I'm saying? People need to hear.
I appreciate that.
What's going on in the community? What's going on with men in general? Because
that's love.
They think they know, but they don't know.
That's love, man. That's love. It's like a war on men right now.
Yeah.
They don't want men. Men don't want to be men no more.
Right.
It's wild, B.
Hey, we dealing with a society of grown boys. Let me tell you, grown boys. Man. They can't even wipe themselves. They can't balance a checkbook. They can't do nothing, and then they wonder why. They wonder why their partners act like mamas instead of partners.
Whoa, man, you going too far. Hold up. Pump the brakes. Hold up, man. You get too deep too early for them.
I'm just saying.
That's real though. Listen, man. I appreciate that, man. I do. I appreciate that, man. I had a comment. One of my viewers commented the other day, and kind of was reiterating some of the things you had just said, man. And I just told him I greatly appreciate it. It's a platform where men, black men, white men, red man. Yo, what up, red man? Come holler at your boy. Yeah. But yeah, man, just men of all different walks of life, man. We just telling it from our perspective, our journey and everything. This is what we can speak on, but just manhood in general has been, attacked and made to look like it's something that's toxic and something that needs to be stopped. But then we take a look at our future, our generation, our children, and they have no guidance. You know what I mean? And they be out here. And we'll circle back to that. But yeah, that's definitely needed to be said, man. That's definitely needed to be said. So, but yo, Tone, man, I appreciate you, man. I'm gonna call you Tone. Can I tell you, Mr. Antonio? Arrington.
I prefer that. Hey,
Yeah,
whatever you want to call, this is years. This is years. So
that's right.
whatever you want to call, like you said, just don't call me late to dinner. You know what I mean?
That's it, man. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, look, listen. I'm to my people listening. And y'all have to understand something. This is my big blood brother. Okay,
right.
this is not one of the bros.
Right.
This is him. This is Timothy.
William Street kids, baby.
Yeah, William Street kids, man. 223 William Street. Look it up. The house is tiny. It's still there. Inglewood, New Jersey, baby. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Shout out to Inglewood. Shout out to
Inglewood, man. Total legend out there, man. The man skills is crazy.
Hey, miss them out there, miss Inglewood, miss the people out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Matter of fact, I talked to our cousin, man, little Lucas. He ain't little no more. He a grown man, man. He just shout out to Lucas, man, cuz he just kept telling me, yo, cuz I'm outside. Like, I'm talking about, man. Yeah, Roger Carter was like, did one of your moves, hand him the phone, boom. I'm like, yo,
hey, and when you do that, it's just like y'all seen each other yesterday. You haven't seen each other for years. That's crazy to me. You know what I'm saying?
It was good chopping them up with them. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's what's up. So listen, man, we're just gonna get right into it, man. There's been a lot going on and a lot of ground to cover. Both of us, it seemed like it was a challenge just to even get to this point. You know what I'm saying? So just thankful to be here, and we just gonna make the most of it. And this is the first of many. You know what I mean? It's definitely not the last, man. First of many, man. Just I've been telling people that you was going to come up here because I'm proud of the things that you're doing. You know what I mean? So, and that's why I wanted to bring on the platform to bring that financial awareness and, in preparations for families and, everything that we had. I just had a little, I don't know if you've seen that. So bear with me too. I might have a little technical difficulties, but we're going to get through it. So, so just to kick it off, just let the people know, what is it you got going on right now? What's going on for Tone? What's happening?
Well, just in general, professionally, we with Vision Leadership Development, right? It's a financial agency, right? Our platform is World Financial Group. We use those to service our clients in regards to financial literacy and things like that. Just understanding finance better and also giving families options, families, individuals, small businesses, big business. We could cater to basically anybody, right? To get some protection, help you pass down generational wealth, be properly insured, right? And all those things that come along with it, help you learn, about 401ks, 403bs, 457s, their savings plans, all those tax deferred vehicles out there that your employer might offer you and you don't know nothing about, to help you understand what you have so you know what you're subject to. But we hang our hat on education. The education and the information is free, right? But if you see something that interests you, pipe up, let us know, like, hey, I like to know more about this, because it's not about you, it's about who you have or leaving behind when you leave here. Right. That's one of the I guess the principles you could say in the word, like fathers put away for your children and your children's children, right?
This says that a good father will leave inheritance to his children and his children's children.
Right.
It's crazy because I had a not to interrupt you, I had a little TikTok post with my man Myron Golden. I don't know if you know who Myron Golden is, but with my man Myron Golden, and he was teaching on that in his Bible Success Secrets. And bro, I had almost like 1 million views. People was commenting, they was going crazy, man. It was a touchy topic, man. Why is generational wealth and finances, why is finances in general just such a touchy topic, man? Like, what's going on? Is it people, like, is there like guilt or shame for where they are? Like, what's going on with money with our people?
That's a good question. For one, I would say from my experience is, when you've been beat down and been abused, right, and things been taken away from you and shunned from you, right, you tend to think from that perspective. That's the lens that you view the world in any capacity, right? So, think about just history from a perspective like 400 years and to the present.
Right.
Things were kept from us systematically, whatever the case may be. Right now, we're saying, hey, we're in this information age and have all this information. Hey, are you trying to do the same thing that they did to us? So even though it's not said, but that is perceived. Oh, hey, how come I've never heard about this? How come you're just showing me this now? Oh, it can't work this way. It's too good to be true. All that's a scarcity mindset when it comes to, let's just say, financial literacy and things like that. Because if I put it in certain spaces, you're not going to touch it. If I put it in a book, you're not going to touch it. Right.
Yeah.
If I put it here, that's not the video you're going to look at. Right.
Yeah.
So we're in the information age, and we have all these resources available to us. Right now, it's like, hey, let's bring it to the forefront, because this is not something that's discussed at the dinner table. Think about when we grew up. Right. There was never discussion about money. There was arguments about money.
Right. If there was discussion, it just wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough. It was more month. It was more month than money. So we was never comfortable with discussing money because it had a negative twist to it, or negative connotation to it, right? It was never kept. It was never shown like, hey, save money. We was taught, hey, you got to get a job. And I'm not saying this to put a negative spin on how we grew up, because I love the fact that we grew the way we grew up, because it made me appreciate things so much more. Right. So much more because of the way we grew up. But what I'm saying is, it's not common language in our households. It wasn't common language back then, and it's not common language now. What is common language? Hey, money comes in your hand. Hey, I got to go spend it because I need the latest. I need the latest. I need to look. I need to have for show. People.
Well, yeah, it's a fact that a lot of this goes back. You had touched upon something a little bit earlier when you first started speaking, and it's a systematic separation of knowledge when it comes to finances. Right. You know what I mean? And a lot of things. So even, our parents and their parents before them, they wasn't privy to, like you said, what we have right now. So it wasn't something they could even teach. They taught our moms, she taught us to be responsible as much as possible. And she showed us that you could take a little and make a lot out of it.
Exactly. Yep.
You know what I mean? So, and those are things, and she taught us, like, if you want it, you got to go get it. So even though, you got to go get it. So, and I remember one of the proudest moments was when she was telling us, like, hey, we're not on food stamps no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that was a big moment, because it was like, I'm not dependent on anybody except for, the sweat of my brow, what I put the work in. You know what I mean? We was early with it, carrying grocery bags from the grocery for the old ladies at the store, shoveling snow, raking leaves, cutting grass, and stealing bikes, selling parts. You know what I mean? But everyone still a candy at the grocery store, selling at school out the locker. You know what I'm saying? So, but we always had a mindset of, getting to the bag and all that. So, that's something that we did pick up from her, because we witnessed her with Amway, Avon. Like, she was always doing something outside of her regular 9 to 5 to make sure that we had extra. You know what I mean?
Can I jump in there right there when you said that? Yeah, we live life forward, but we understand it backwards, right? So when I jumped into the entrepreneur space, right? Yeah. Right, I start reflecting, and they say success or measure success leave clues, right? And think about that. Mom's had a job. She actually had 2 jobs, and she had a side hustle all the time.
All the time, yeah.
And it was 3 of us, and we had Pops, right?
Yeah.
And then she worked everything. She worked everything. And when I started my journey, I started thinking back. I'm like, yeah, mom used to sell Avon. She used to do this. She used to do that. So that was mirrored in front of us. You get what I'm saying? Right. But we didn't realize it at the time. I didn't realize it at the time. Right. Granddaddy always had logging business and stuff like that. So we had examples of hard work, or like say our uncle, can we say names on here?
Yeah.
Okay. Our Uncle Pete, he was always doing something on the side.
Yeah, that's the OG. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Always doing something on the side. So we had the example of side hustles or business or entrepreneurship in front of us, and you don't realize it until you start walking that space. You be like, man, you know what? Such and such used to do this. Such and such used to do that. Because when you're ready for the lesson, or you mature for the lesson, it will appear.
Right.
It might
Right.
be
No,
the
that's a fact.
positive. It might be the
Right.
positive, but you when you're ready for it, it'll show up.
Well, you know what? You just made me think about something when you said that, and with you being a father and being an entrepreneur. Now, first of all, hold on, because let's not skip over the fact that you are a retired chief from the
Right.
United States Navy. Okay, let's yes, sir. Let's get that down. So, let me ask you this: when with your time in the Navy, I also remember you traveling over the world, but you had other side things going. Then, when
Mm-hmm.
did you first realize that you was an entrepreneur, or that you know what I mean, you always had bigger dreams than what the standard day-to-day 9 to 5 grind was for you, even in the military? When did you realize that you just had to do more?
I think that's a good question, by the way, too. Well, let me say it like this. My initial thought was to do my 4 years and get out, right? That was my initial thought, right?
Right.
I always wanted to be a barber. I wanted to have those barbershops around the way where you could come in and just the whole atmosphere was just, you loved being around. I always
Right.
wanted to be a barber. I was nice with the clippers, self-taught, then going to Navy, still cutting hair and all that stuff, right? So it
Right.
was always in me to do something on the side to make some money. I guess it was that the spirit of the hustler, so to speak. We frame it as hustler, but it's just
Mm-hmm.
that grind, just wanting more. Just
Right.
you have it's something inside you saying that, hey, I can do more. I'm meant for more, and it's just you're just never settled, right?
Right.
So
Right.
the military, I did go in the Navy, and I always tell people the Navy was the best mistake I ever made, in a way, or the best decision. I had nothing to do with it. Like you say, it's all God's fault. I just
Right.
kept saying, hey, I was looking for something, I was searching for something, and I knew I had to leave, or it would have turned out a different way. I just knew it in my spirit. I could have been in the Marine Corps. I could have
Right.
been in the Armed Force, right? It's just the Navy. When I went and took my ass fab, because the Marine Corps was talking to me as well, they had, I was able to leave sooner.
Okay.
That's the only reason why, honestly, that's the only reason why I went in the Navy, because I just wanted to get the ball rolling. And
Right.
I knew how that was going to affect my family. I knew how people was going to feel, but I just wanted to get rolling to see what was out there, see what was going on. And here's the deal. I was terrified.
Okay. Yeah.
Because jumping on the plane the first time, flying to Florida, right, doing boot camp, in the environment, in the atmosphere I didn't even know, because we didn't take vacations and big trips when we was coming up, because there was no money to do so. So our vacation
Right.
was North Carolina, back to Jersey, North Carolina. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so I'm on a plane the first time by myself at 18 years old. So I didn't know. I didn't know what I was getting myself into, honestly. And then I touch down and I go to boot camp, and I just like, hey, I just need to listen. That's all. That's all I
Right.
did. I
Right.
need to listen. Get through boot camp. Boom. Fast forward. Now I'm at the. I come home. Boom. I jump. I'm go to the airport in Pennsylvania. I think it was Pennsylvania. I flew
Would
out
have been
of. I
Philly.
think. Yeah, I think in Philly.
Yeah.
Right.
Shout
And
out to
I
Philly.
fly overseas. That's my second time on the plane.
How many
And
hours was that for the second time on the plane? That's crazy.
man,
How long was that?
like 8 to 10 hours, maybe even longer, because I had
Woo.
to fly to France.
Okay.
To catch the ship.
Okay.
So I had to wait till the ship hit a port, fly in,
Right.
and touchdown. I'm in the country, can't speak the language, no nothing, and I got to try to get to my ship. And you have to coordinate that stuff on your own. So it was just experience. It was just an experience that is mind blowing when I think about it now. But thanks be to God, I made it. I made it to the
Right.
ship,
Right.
checked in. But it was my first time.
Yeah.
First
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
overseas, gone, seeing the world, seeing something I never seen before. And
Yeah.
like I
Yeah.
said, it was just the best. It was just the best. I would say mistake, because I wasn't 100 about going. I just wanted to
Right.
leave, like to get the ball rolling again. And now I did 4 years, 3 years, 4 years, kind of like that, until it was all said and done, because I didn't have a plan.
Right.
And that's one of my key, like, I didn't have a plan coming out of high school. And I would tell any young person in general, have a plan.
Yeah.
Have a plan for yourself. If you don't know how to develop a plan, get with somebody that have a plan. Because I was smart, but I didn't think I was smart enough for college. I was athletic, but I tried out for a junior basketball team and didn't make that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Down in Kinston, like, so I was just trying to find me in a way, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Hey, what am I good at? What can I do? Because now life is hitting me in the face at 18, right? And if nobody sit down and kind of coach you through it, you just kind of try to feel your way through it. You know what I mean? And that's where a lot of the mistakes happen.
That's true. That's true. So when that was going on, and there's two things, and I just want to touch upon a point right there, because like even like in myself, being an entrepreneur, always going against the grain, that's something that I passed on to my children. And they kind of follow suit too. Now some of them pick up the wrong traits of different things. However, I'm saying it's the wrong traits just because I don't like it. I don't like to see myself in them. But however, but it's just certain things like that you learn, that you start passing on purposeful thinking and intent. Doing things, personal growth, education, like training yourself. So there's a lot of different things that you pick up and you start training, your kids on it. Like even right now with my grandkids, I have them doing a lot of different things that, most people wouldn't have their grandchildren doing, and like teaching them, hey, listen, this is okay. Now this is your business and you do this and you set it up. Now what's your goal on this? Like they got them thinking a whole different way, because you said something, you was like 18 and you didn't have any college, didn't have any guidance. One of the biggest things when a father's passing on their inheritance to their children, their children's children, part of that is their mentality. Number one, it's not always finances. Part of that is the mentality and the know-how and the training on how to progress. And then if you're fortunate enough to have a business of your own, and then you can get them in the business and teaching them, that's how all the brands, the biggest brands in the world, survive. You know what I mean? Because of fathers building a business and passing it down to their children and their children's children. So, and that's something that's needed in the Black community, because we don't have enough of that within our community. The only thing we pass on is generational curses. You know what I'm saying? So, so it's crazy. So, so I like the part that you said that, because right now, so now with you, because how long have you been in VLD? How long have you?
I've been in it 10 years. I started out part-time while I was still in the military, right? Because just wanted to, in the beginning, I just wanted to make some extra money, right? I wanted to make about an extra $1,000 or so a month on top of my military pay. And it was just something new to learn, right? Because no one, let me retract. My mentor, Adrian Ewing, shout out to the Ewing family, Adrian Ewing's, right? He asked me one day, he said, hey man, what are you doing Tuesday? This is how it all started, right? I was in the church working and everything. And then he said, hey, would you attend a meeting with me? Like, or a meeting, be a guest for a meeting for me or whatever. I was like, I got you. I didn't even really know him like that, but I was just like, oh, okay. I got you. He's like, you gonna come? I was like, yeah. He's like, hey, wear your uniform. They'll like it, whatever. So, I come in there, and when I seen the information, everybody was awesome and everything. But when they started explaining the information, it was just like, man, I never heard this before. Now, one thing about me, I got good common sense, and my common sense kind of makes me smart. I'm not really that smart, but my common sense makes me seem like I'm smart. So my common sense kicked in, and I was like, this is crazy. This is good. And I was like, so basically I was like, A plus B equals C. Boom. And then I was like, hey, I want to be a part of this because no one in my family heard about this. So the first time
you was right. So even then, I'm sorry to interrupt. You was already, so from the information you heard, you was already thinking how this could be effective for your family.
Yep. That's the first thing I said. Nobody in my family has ever sat down and showed me what the individual went over that night. Nobody never showed me that. Right. I was shown how to, count dollars, but I wasn't shown how to make my money work for me. Right. So when I go to proximity or getting out your zip code is very important. You have to, right, as an individual, because you don't know what's out there. Proximity is everything. You got to be in proximity of people going places, even as a man. Even as a man, like, yeah, you can have your wife and you can have your family, but you don't stop growing. When you stop growing as a man and as a leader, everybody that comes behind you will eventually do the same, because it's not what you say, it's what you show. It's
That's
like you said earlier. It's like what you said earlier. It's like, hey, I'm teaching my grandkids. They see me. My kids have adopted me, certain things about me, and I don't like me in them and stuff like that. Right? It's not never what you say, is what you show.
What you do. Yeah, that's right.
So my kids, right, I was always doing something. So they see me always doing something. I'm going to a meeting. I'm doing that. But even with that, I never got so busy not to be with them as well. I never forced all what I'm doing onto them. I just showed them. I'm like, hey, take a look at this. When you save money, this is where you need to put your money. Here's why. Boom, boom, boom. I bring it down to their level.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, because I know you like money. I say, I know you like money, blah, blah, blah. This is where you put your money. Okay, Papa Rooney's, blah, blah, blah. I would bring it down there so it wasn't like pressure. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I think the reason why we're not able to, say, build businesses and pass it on like, say, other races and everything, because it's a pressure, and it's like, you got to do this, you got to do that. No, if the way you present it is the way you present you and you present it, because people see your journey.
Yeah, that's the thing, and because Pops used to tell us all the time, don't do as I do, do as I say.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's what I was about to say. Yep.
That's that old school mentality, though, because it's a challenge when your heart is in the right place, but your education and understanding of life or what you're going through isn't. So it's things that is right to do and say, but you don't have the training or the guidance to overcome yourself. Right. In the Black community, our Black brothers have, the trauma and the things that's been passed on from generation to generation. You're talking about a people who were bred like cattle.
Right. Yep.
You see what I mean? With all kind of, but with the soul. So you think about that. You had the best men, the best, strongest athletic men, the best, strongest athletic women, and they literally paired them and bred them.
Yep.
You see what I mean? Yep. And a lot of people with their own family, they had families of their own. Right. They had people that they loved, and they had to be forced to do these things. And then you had men disconnected because all their whole job was to go impregnate the young, strong women.
Breed. Yep. Yep. Yep.
You know what I mean? That's not something you pass on. So you develop a mindset through that. That's your human beings doing this. And it's not an excuse for the day, but what it is whenever you first meet somebody, whenever you first talk to somebody, they always qualify themselves from where they've been. They always tell you, well, I grew up like this.
Yeah.
So, so think about that. So that's been going, people have grew up like this for hundreds of years.
Exactly. Yeah.
You see what I mean? So, and that's in the same way with finances and everything else. They used to shoot down self-sufficient Black communities.
Yep.
Where we was building our own businesses, where we were business owners. We own land. We cultivated.
Yeah.
We innovated, right? And then when all that shut down, they no, forget all that. Because y'all get, you know what I mean? So so it wasn't even encouraged. If you think about it, like I remember me growing up, I used to hide how smart I was.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't accepted. You was an Urkel. Nobody wanted to be Steve Urkel.
Yeah, you was viewed different. Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy. You know what I mean? So it's so funny, man, because my man, shout out to Joel, man, being able to talk today. He greeted me on some things, man, we going through. But we used to sit in the same classes and be clowning around together. Joel be felling like a bum.
Right.
He was like, it's okay, you passed.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't know. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
So it's just so it's just, these are the things that nowadays, we had a time, like you was sharing before, we're in the information age, and in that age, even though these things have affected us, now with the understanding that we have, we can pivot like never before as a people in the culture.
Yeah, and you're right. We can. I want to jump in there because you said some things about it was normal to come up in an abusive household, verbal, physically, emotionally, and all those things, right? It was normal, 20, 30 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we a generation, let's just say a generation removed from that, right? But that doesn't mean the scarring is not still there. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Correct.
And the deepest wound is that emotional scarring that takes longer than anything, right? So we are walking around here broken, fighting for life, but we're broken, right? And we're damaged goods. I always say we're damaged goods. Everybody that you know, even if they healed a little bit, they're damaged goods, and we have a default system that we will result to if the situation pushes us there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And here's the deal. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. First and foremost, it's okay. But if you don't do anything about it,
right,
and you have to know you. That's one of the things. That's one of the things that me as a man, I'm big on, because if I know me, I know what I know what I'm subject to, and I know what I yield to.
You know what? Hold that thought right there. We're gonna take a small break. Give me 1 second. We're gonna take a small break. Don't lose that thought. We're gonna pick up right there. Everybody listen, hold on. We're gonna be right back.